Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new series produced by Elements of the Unknown. We are a limited series, unsure how long we're going to be, but we are exploring the unknown. It is an audio companion to all of the things that we are doing right now. I am writing a book called Exploring the Unknown. We are a part of a team called Exploring the Unknown. And now we have a limited mini series called Exploring the Unknown. I am Jason McGray, and I am here with my co host for Exploring the Unknown, and my fiance, Dominik, is here. She's not here. She's just gonna sit and stare at me. Thought maybe she'd say hello to you. She's not ready to say hello to everybody yet. She just wants to laugh. We are gonna talk about all kinds of things in this series. So this introductory episode will give you a feel for where we're gonna go with this. It's not quite the same style, but is the same style as Elements of the Unknown, where we just kind of talk and deep dive on things. But the difference being with this show is that we're just going to talk about all of our adventures and all the things that we've gone exploring, or maybe places that we're going to go exploring. And you'll get a feel of that in our insights on the locations. I know that Dom here has her own views on some of the locations that we've been to, and I have my own views, and sometimes they go together well, and other times they conflict. And you'll see that as we go through conversations about different locations. Do you have anything that you want to add to start with this show? Maybe some hopes or aspirations for the show, or things that you want to do?
No, I just want to experience spooky things.
You just want to experience spooky
I mean,
things?
not here on the show.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have spooky things happen while we're doing the show.
It might happen.
It could, because we are doing it out of our house.
Yep.
And that is, if anybody that knows us knows that things happen here quite frequently. Also, you may also hear Scout walking around, clippity clopping, because we can only, well, Dom can only get one nail a day doing on his feet with the clippers. And can't clip them very fast. He doesn't like it. He's very dramatic about it. Anyways, um, I mean, we could start with like one of our first adventures stateside. Like we could go with Rolling Hills. We could discuss Rolling Hills.
Yep.
So, way back in, it was like October 2023, we went and did Rolling Hills. Asylum, it was kind of like we did it on kind of a whim, didn't we?
I think you just wanted to go. So you
Like, I think we were down there. We're like, let's go to Rolling Hills. Let's just go. They have a public ghost hunt.
I thought we went down there just for that.
Yeah, we probably did. But like, I
Yeah.
mean, it was very whimsical. No,
I
like
don't think
like
whimsical is the
spontaneous.
words, but yes, it's
Spontaneous.
spontaneous.
Okay. Well, you know what I mean. And you get to hear our inner bickering. We just it was one of those places like, oh, I always want to go Rolling Hills, and we realized it was so close. Let's just go. So we went down. We drove down, and as we came up, like come down the road, it was kind of just starting to get dark. It was like a little bit.
Yeah. Very, very little.
We stopped at Joe's before, right? Paranormal Oddities.
I don't know. It was so long ago.
Yeah,
I
we
can't
did. We
remember.
stopped at Paranormal
I
Oddities.
think was that my first time there?
Was
Yes.
your first or second time?
Oh no, first time was pizza.
Yeah, first time we went to Say Cheese Pizza
Yeah.
and got some delicious pizza. Was that the time you ordered a pizza Canadian style?
Yeah.
Ordered a Canadian
wanted
style pizza
Canadian.
in Buffalo. Yeah. Well, actually, Grand Island. But anyways, um, yeah, the second time we went down, we went to Paranormal Oddities so you could see the store
Mm-hmm.
and meet Joe, who
Mm-hmm.
is a friend of ours, a
Mm-hmm.
very good friend of ours. Um, and then we were like, we booked for Rolling Hills, and he wished us all the best and told us it's a really cool building, and to make sure to follow the rules because
That's a good way to
we're
put it.
yeah. I mean, it is a good way to put it. There was like a laundry list, arm's length of rules that we had going into it. We had to like review all the rules. Remember, we got like emails and stuff, and we had to
Yeah.
like, what did we have to
They were
do?
in the waiver, and then we had to read them before we went. And then they went over them again for 20 minutes when we got there.
Right.
Some of them were like understandable, and others were
Questionable.
just a little more specific.
Yeah.
Very,
Some of them were
very specific.
Yep, they were very specific. And we had noticed that the reviews online were like, some were very favorable reviews towards the building and the location, and some were less favorable towards the owner. And I think it's more of a like the owner is very strict on her rules.
She wasn't that bad, honestly. Like I think the people um that complained were probably people that broke the rules, but
Yeah.
like it's there right in front of you. You go over them when you sign the waiver, and again before you go, you're told to read them, and again when you get there. So if you break the rules, like it's only your fault.
Yeah, I agree.
We were fine. We were
Yep.
able to go through.
Yeah, we brought there's like a lineup to get in,
Hmm.
and we brought a select small amount of ghost hunting tools with us. We had a couple flashlights. I think we brought a voice recorder and maybe an EMF meter. We didn't bring much with
No,
us. Um,
no, there was a lot of stuff we couldn't bring. I don't think. Maybe.
uh,
No, because there was another group that brought a lot, so I guess I'm wrong.
we just did. There was some stuff we didn't have
And we
yet.
just, yeah, I think we also just weren't sure on what we could and couldn't bring. But
So
they go through all your equipment. They'll go through everything piece by piece and tell you what you can't bring, and you can leave it in the car or whatever.
yep.
Or no, wait, you leave it with them and you pick it up after. That's what it is.
Yeah, there was like a rule where you couldn't go to your car after you come in or something like that.
Yeah, someone brought a screwdriver like as a trigger object, and they made them leave that.
Leave it in the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's certain
so
things that.
that was while the lineup of being they would call your name out and you come up and you get your tools or equipment inspected, and they would let you know you can't bring this in, you can't bring that in. You have a quick minute to run it to the car and leave it
No,
there
it
and come
wasn't
back.
run into the car. They were hold because they didn't want to wait for people to run into the car, so they would hold it aside. I'm pretty sure they were putting things in bags and like labeling them. Because then
Oh
you had to go
yeah,
see them
yeah.
after. We just never had anything we had to give them.
That's true. We didn't. They questioned the flashlight
They told you to not use yours.
and then said not use mine, just put it in my pocket.
Yeah, and let you bring it in.
Um and then we went inside and they do like they sit you down like it's almost looks like a classroom where you got to sign another waiver.
Yeah, and watch a video.
And then we watched a video. It's like the history
Yeah.
of the location. So it's kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of a quick history lesson on the location so you have an idea. Some other locations you'll see as we go with this show will explain how other locations do kind of like their intro and their tour and all that stuff.
Some more like I don't know how to say it.
They're just handled differently. We've noticed
Some of
every
them are very like this one was very like regimented and like you
yeah.
have to do this, you have to do that, and like very in line and like pulling everyone up one at a time. And then other ones are just more relaxed, like they don't really care.
Yeah, and I found like talking to the owner of Rolling Hills after
Mm-hmm.
and hearing her say like
I
she
think
has
she's
these rules in place for a
I think she's
reason.
just misunderstood, and the people that are giving her a bad rap are people that have broken the rules, and
Yeah.
then they're like, "Oh, I don't know why she was so mean," but it's like,
Yeah, it's like people
it,
will complain like, "Oh, they won't let me bring a bottle of water in." It's because she doesn't want the inside of the building getting wet
well, and
because you
she says
spilt the
she
water or
spent
something.
so much money on like pest control.
Yep.
She's like anything, like
Like
not
on
even gum.
like on a rotating schedule, she
Yeah,
does it
yeah,
routinely so that there's
yeah.
like zero bugs in the building at
Yeah.
all. There's nothing.
No.
and they restore and repair and everything inside so that you can walk through. You don't have to worry about rodents or roaches or
And like we
bugs
were
or anything.
fine. We thought it'd be an issue to not have water for that long, but like I was fine. I don't know if you got
Yeah, it
thirsty.
was
I was okay. I didn't need it.
I was fine.
Yeah.
It would it's a public investigation. We were only there for like maybe 2 3 hours, I
I
think.
think it was 3. Yeah.
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 So basically, after you do your history lesson, you get like open access to rolling hills. There's a giant group of people, um, and everybody just kind of scatters and goes in different directions. They kind of tell you where some of the hot spots are, and some of the staff wander through the building as you're doing the public investigation. And we found that actually kind of helpful because we were actually able to stop and talk
We talked to that one lady.
to a lady, yeah, and she gave us like a little bit of insight on some of the rooms and locations on where to go and what to do.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool
Yeah.
because she told us like where what's his name? Big Jeff or Big Jake or something?
It wasn't Jeff.
I don't know.
It
Who
was Jack.
Jack, Big Jack. I knew it was a J.
That's Jeff over there.
Yeah, my name is Jeff. um yeah, she like told us where Big Jack's room was and where all these other rooms and how to get to certain places. And we just kind of wandered around. Now, um, we've always said, learning from experience, that public investigations can be very subjective to how you get your evidence. So we
Mm-hmm.
noticed like right away it's very tough to get audio evidence because people are wandering around, they're talking, they could be whispering
They're doing their
or
own experiments.
yeah, they're
Trying to.
trying to do their own
It's just very
experiments.
difficult. I don't know. I was very disappointed in the public aspect of it because you realize how much you can't get any of that. You can't just sit in the environment and listen because everybody is everywhere doing everything. Like you hear a tap, it could just be somebody over in the next room. Like it's
Right.
yeah. So that I learned very quickly that it's not the kind of evidence you're gonna get, and we didn't really bring that much equipment to do. We brought an audio recorder, which you can't really get that kind of evidence there. You
Yeah,
can and you can't. I don't know.
we ran the audio recorder.
The skeptic in me doesn't like that kind of evidence when we're in that setting because it's just it can be explained away. So
And there's no
I
control
don't get
over it.
excited over it. Yeah.
Yeah, we ran the audio recorder a little bit, not much, just a few spots. We did capture an audio anomaly, I will call it,
Mm-hmm.
and this is an example of where we had a disagreement of what it could be.
Mm-hmm.
You believe it's possibly you whispering,
Because I was trying to take pictures and people were in the way.
right?
I know you told me not to whisper. I was still new to like the whole investigating thing. I might have said, "Get out of the way." I might
Yeah,
have.
get
I
out of the
might have
way.
because I
It
was
might have,
telling people to get out. Like I was just whispering it like in my head, kind of thing to
yeah,
myself because I wanted people to get out of my shot. Because that's
almost,
all I was there for was taking pictures. After I realized that you can't really get evidence, and
right.
we didn't have any equipment to like. We didn't have a REM pod. We didn't have cat balls. We didn't have anything to be able to get that kind of like we. Oh, I think we had the spirit box, but again, it was so hard to hear. We didn't have the headphones to be able to do Estes.
Right.
Well, the headphones we did have were not very
We
good.
had like earbuds,
Yeah, so
wireless
like you
ones.
couldn't do an Estes session. Um, and they very much told us. I'm pretty sure that that was there. That they said like don't like commandeer a room. Like don't go in a room and do an experiment and like close the door so other people can't access it. Like give everybody free reign so and like allow everybody the opportunity to get into every room. So it's not like we could go and do that anyway.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, um,
Sorry, I sidetracked
no,
you.
it's not sidetracking. We're talking about rolling hills. It's all good. So yeah, we did do a lot of pictures though, but
A
we
ton of
embraced it
pictures.
though
Yeah.
because
Well, that's it's just I went there expecting one thing, doing like the investigating side, and then realized quickly afterwards that like no, I'm mainly going to be there for like taking pictures and just experiencing the environment. And like I mean, we did do a few like experiments, but
yeah, a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah,
We got up on the embalming table
hmm
and we took some pictures and videos from there
yeah. We took tons of pictures
with
that
you on
night.
the embalming table. And then there was a bathtub in one of the basement rooms. They said that they would get activity if somebody gets
That
in.
people would feel, yeah.
So you got in the bathtub. We took pictures of that as
I
well.
just was cold, but I was cold the entire night. It is freezing in there.
October was freezing at
It's like
Rolling
10 to
Hills.
20 degrees it colder. She said even in the summertime. Like I went there with my hunter rubber boots. I had a toque and I think my winter coat. Yeah, I think I had my winter coat. And I wish I'd worn my winter boots because my feet were freezing in my rubber boots.
Right.
And I had warm socks. I think I even brought my mittens. But I wasn't dressed enough and like you need winter gear in October.
Hmm.
Yeah. So like in the summer you'd probably need like fall gear.
And then wandering around, shivering, cold. We couldn't
Yes.
really see their breath, but
No, it was just,
it was just
it's
cold.
damp cold. It's very very damp cold. As much as there's I don't know. I don't know if there's a draft or anything. It's just it's cement. So it's like being in a cold, damp basement like the entire time. So it's not like you
All
can
three
see.
floors, though.
Yeah. Yeah, everywhere you go other than the gift shop because they
They had
heat
the
that.
heat
And
cranked
that's
in
where
the
they
gift
go
shop.
to warm up. And I think the owner sits there. Well, which makes sense. I mean, if
Yep.
I would do the same thing.
So when we were leaving one of the halls, Big Jack's room at the end of the hall is like a sunroom or a solarium or
Mm-hmm.
something. So we got about halfway down the hall,
Mm-hmm. They're
and
really, really long hauls too.
yeah, they're really long
Really
halls. The
long.
the place is huge,
Mm-hmm.
and we turned around to look at the room, which has like blue lights inside
Yeah.
illuminating it, and it has little square windows on the doors.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking at, I think there was a third person, somebody that we didn't
Yeah,
know,
it was some lady.
and we were all looking down the hall, and I got really excited because
You like fanboyed over this.
I
You
did,
got giddy.
I got really giddy.
Yeah.
I saw, my description of what I saw is that I saw a figure walking past those squares of blue as if somebody was in the room pacing in one direction.
And that's what they said
They did say that
you
that's
would
what
experience.
happens.
This is what the one lady that one of the ladies we spoke to said that
She said we'd see
that's the
his
experience.
feet as well on the bottom,
Yes, and you'll
which,
see the squares black out as he walks by.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coming out of that hallway, there was a few rooms as we came out of the hallway, but we knew there was nobody down that hallway.
Yeah, because we'd gone all the way to the end and come back.
Right, and we had
Yeah.
poked our head in through each room to
And
look
came
at
back.
it,
Yeah.
so we knew nobody was down there.
Mm-hmm.
But your explanation, I'll let you tell your explanation of what you think was going
It
on.
was really far away, so we sat there and watched for a while, and then we saw it. I'll say we saw it, although I don't think we saw anything. Um, when you're focusing on an area for so long, and like you know what you're looking for because this lady told us that you would see. But anyway, regardless of that, when you're like focusing on something for a really, really long time, you're especially when you're in pitch black, your eyes play tricks on you, and I think that that's what it was because like I could see it, and then I would kind of like look away or tilt my vision, and I like tilt my head or whatever, change the direction I was looking in, and I couldn't fully see it. Like I don't know if I saw it. It was too far away to say for sure. That and like I just thought of this now, but like the expectation of that's what we're waiting to see, is that possible that your eyes and your brain started making you see that because that's what you were specifically looking for?
It's very possible.
Just that whole night
I
we didn't
think
get any evidence that I am
right.
convinced
And I
100%
think
about.
the progressive thought process behind the whole thing is that not to argue over what actually happened. Like, oh, I saw a ghost. No, you didn't. You saw a light
It was
anomaly
your eyes
or
playing tricks
your
or
tricks or whatever.
yeah.
We both agree that it is, and it also is entirely possible for me to have an experience and you not have one,
Correct.
looking in the exact same
Being
place,
side by side.
lying
Yeah.
side by side. It's the same idea like somebody hears a disembodied voice, but the person right beside you doesn't hear that disembodied
Like the
voice.
footsteps at Hinsdale, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about Hinsdale for sure.
Yeah.
We'll make a whole episode of Hinsdale.
But same thing.
But same idea.
You guys were like, what, 6 feet away?
And didn't hear a
Didn't hear
thing.
it, but I definitely know 100%
And
hands
I
down.
experienced that myself.
I know,
We'll
so
talk
you know,
about.
yeah.
So we,
Hmm.
but this is what we're saying is could happen, and um, having the ability to say, I can understand your point of view, and you can understand my point of view, and we can chalk it up that it's two different explanations. Either one could be right. It's not that we're going to say either one is wrong. We're
No.
saying either one could be right.
And,
And it's inconclusive at this point. It's enough that I would want to investigate it more.
oh, for sure. And some experiences are only meant for one individual, like
It's
one
true.
person.
It was meant for me to get excited like a schoolgirl.
That was probably the best part.
You got like really upset at me too. You were like,
Yes.
"What are you doing?" I thought you got all excited. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
started fanboying over a ghost.
You did. You definitely did. It caught me off guard.
You expecting that I was gonna maybe I don't know, what were you
I
expecting
thought
that
you
I
were
was
more
gonna
seasoned.
Well I am
That
pretty
way.
seasoned, but
But there are times, as we now know, that that doesn't matter.
you're like, this guy doesn't fanboy over celebrities, but he'll get excited over a ghost. But overall, like we got a lot of cool pictures. I've used some of the
I
pictures
still have to go through
in
and edit a bunch of those.
I've used a bunch in like advertisement and
I
stuff because
love
we
it.
got some
Yeah.
cool shots. And then after we kind of explored the entire building, we went down to the gift shop and look around, buy a few things, and talk to the owner for quite a
Yeah,
bit.
that's when I realized like she's not like people paint her out to be a different person than
She
I
was
think
really
she
nice
is.
to
She's
us.
really, really nice, really welcoming. And I get it. I mean, she's had people do things that she never thought she'd have to tell them not to do.
Yeah.
I think she said one time she had somebody try to dismantle something or break stuff or move. I don't know, but it's just like I get it. I get it. She put a lot of time and money and effort into that place, and to have people come in and just do whatever the heck they want, I get
And
it.
she like picked up her life and moved out to New York from
In
California
California, yeah.
to buy that
Mm-hmm.
place.
And she said she was like she was all alone. I think she didn't
Yeah.
have anybody out there with her. Like it was just her. So
And
I
she
get it.
lives on the property. There's a
Mm-hmm.
house somewhere. I don't know where it
We're
is.
not allowed to go. Yeah,
Um,
not allowed to walk the property. I don't think.
Now, what I have heard recently is that she is looking at including some kind of new structures or doing something that will allow for longer stays, like overnight stays or camp out stays or something like that.
Interesting.
There's you can jump onto Rolling Hills
I don't know that I'd want to camp out there though.
mailing
Like,
list. They have an email list, and you can get on that mailing list, and they send you updates about like events they have coming up and stuff like that. I get them all the time. A lot of celebrities have walked those halls. There's pictures all beside the gift
oh,
shop.
like you mean camp out inside, not outside.
I think they're looking at like maybe building like an Airbnb or something like
Uh,
outside so that you can.
that makes more sense because I don't know that I'd sleep in a tent. Not because I'm afraid of I'd be afraid of animals. It's like
Yeah,
among farmland. It's
it's
like
in the middle of
farmland and
nowhere.
woods and then this giant building. So
Hmm.
I would not. I think there might be a house across the street.
I can't remember. There's a lot of fields.
There is a lot of fields.
I remember that because we stopped when we first got there. We stopped
We
across the
went there
street.
early before we were allowed to show up just to take pictures.
Yeah, they tell you like don't come until 15 minutes before the doors open. And so we didn't go on the property. We wanted pictures of the outside of the
Before it
building
got dark, yeah.
before it got dark. So that's what we did. Across the street, pulled over as far as we could, didn't impede traffic. So if you ever go to Rolling Hills, you'll see it's literally at the intersection. I'm pretty sure it's the only thing there. I think there's a house down the street and across the street.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so, yeah.
but it has a parking lot big enough to accommodate everybody that does the public investigation. They do all kinds of things there. They have guest celebrities come in and do ghost hunts. They that you can join in. They do movie nights. They do all kinds of stuff. And we talked to her about doing private events. So
Mm-hmm.
she has pricing packages for like weekday, weekend, pricing packages for a certain amount of people. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you're gonna film for YouTube, she has a different package for that.
And
And
events, so if you sell tickets, that's a whole other thing
yeah,
too.
she didn't. She was like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna book a private, you got to make sure you're not doing private and then sell the tickets as like an event.
Yeah,
So
because
there's
that's a whole
packages for
different
everything.
price. Yeah.
And that's understandable. You got to respect that. That's her property, that's her building. Um,
She calls the shots, and I get it.
and she allows the public to come in
Hmm.
and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So there was some regulars that we were there. We noticed when we were in
That
line
was the yeah.
that there was
Yeah.
people that were coming back and people that she recognized, which was kind of
Hmm.
cool. But that was our first experience doing a public ghost hunt in the United States. It was
Hmm.
basically our first U.S. location that we investigated as best we could investigate. Um, and hands down, even to this day, we both say we want to go back. So, should we go back? Maybe we'll bring you with us. But we're not going back right now. We are going to end this episode and go talk about another location on the next episode. So, until then, stay spooky, keep exploring.